All right, everybody. So we've got a special guest today. He finished second at the Daytona Supercross for the second time in his career in as many years. Stilez Robertson, what's up, my man?
Oh, not much. Just another day out here in Florida. How are you?
Doing great. It's nice. I'm out in Vegas. So, dude, so what is it about Daytona that just makes you come out like, I mean, last year it was out of nowhere. This year, when you got up there, I kind of expected it. What is it about that place?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I grew up riding hard pack, so it's kind of the opposite of what you'd think. But I don't know. I just get a get a good vibe there, I guess. And I don't know. I got a good start and kind of rode good all day. So I don't know. I guess it's just Daytona. I love that place now.
Go figure, a sand specialist from Bakersfield. What?
Yeah, right.
No, see, and I don't think it's just a sand specialist. Honestly, you've been good all year. And I didn't know the extent of the injuries you came into the season with, and a lot of people don't. Can you tell us
Right.
about that and how little you rode before the season?
Yeah. So, and I think it was December. I separated my shoulder. So it took like 3 weeks off. And then I came back and was in California and was about to do some testing next week. And on the Friday of Oakland Supercross, I crashed at Hemet and fractured my pubic rami, which is basically, it's in your pelvis. It's basically like when you're sitting on a road bike, it's kind of that bone right there. So yeah, it
Wow.
sucked. I was off the bike for, I think it was like 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I raced it 5 weeks. So I think it was 4 weeks. I rode like 4 to 5 days before the race. But even the days I was riding, it wasn't very long. Like I think the most laps in one day I did was like 22, just because it was so painful. So yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. Rode for 4 to 5 days, then went to Minneapolis, and my goal honestly was just to make it through the whole day. Like I didn't even know if I could ride that much, but we made it work, and it wasn't a terrible day. Got seventh, was running sixth for a while, and then just ran out of steam just from being off the bike. And then yeah, it just what a lot of people I don't feel like understand is coming in behind the eight ball, you can never really catch up, because it's back to back to back. And then I've only rode like the week leading up to Texas was 2 days. And then, you're at the race, and then you come back, and then it's Daytona, it's 2 days, and then you're at the race. So training days, I only have another 2 days this week. So, 6 more days.
That's crazy that you're riding that little. And I'll,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I knew who you were. Obviously, you're part of that whole Bakersfield mafia where Mumford, Jet Reynolds,
It's
Ryder
just
D.
Reynolds and Mumford's not familiar. He's from Simi Valley. It's just Ryder D and Jet. And then there's a good group of amateur kids there. There's Brock Bennett, and then there's Eric Acevedo, which he's a little up north, but he's a good friend of mine. And there's a lot of really good amateur kids from around my area.
Yeah, and see, and I heard of you, and I knew that you had done pretty good. And I went back and checked your amateur results at Loretta's, and it's funny because I really took note of you on the Husqvarna.
Yeah.
And up until that point, your career kind of mimics a Villapoto or a Dungy or these guys that did good, but they weren't like dominant every year at Loretta's. Like you were battling up near the front, but that last year something clicked and you just became a guy. What
Yeah.
was different?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know, honestly. I think just being here at Baker's Factory just kind of gave me a little bit of confidence. And obviously, the bike is really good. And just kind of having a support system behind me that I really believed in, I think helped a lot. And, but I honestly had a lot of not good years at Loretta's. And I think just coming in that year, I was super confident. And, I was training with RJ and at the time, Nate Thrasher. And there was a good group here, and I just felt good going into it. So yeah, that helped. But yeah, I mean, it was good. I only had won both titles once before at Loretta's in 2014. So to do it again my last year and get the prize award was something special that I'll never forget.
Yeah, the year before you got one when you split them with Jarrett Fry, and then
Yep.
yeah, back in the 9 to 11 you went 1-1. So
Yep. Yeah, back with Pierce Brown. So that was kind of my age group growing up. It was Pierce, and then he was the same age as me. And then we had like Shimoda and Mumford, and then they were like Mumford and Marchbanks are a year older. So we had a pretty good group, amateur group growing up that was pretty competitive. It was a lot of fun.
So now, did you homeschool right out of the bat, or how did that work? Were you one of the kids
Yeah,
that stayed in?
fifth grade. It's funny actually. I got back from spring nationals, and the teacher did not like that I was gone so long, and she, like, I did all my homework, but we stayed another day. Like, I didn't come back the day I said I was, and she like gave me all F's even though I did the work. Like, she's like, "Oh, you didn't come back by this date," so then it was like, all right, well, this ain't gonna work with her. And I couldn't really go to I grew up in kind of the country, and that was the closest school. So we realized, it's not really gonna work. So went to a charter school for a little bit. So I still had to go in and do that for a little bit in fifth and sixth grade. And then fifth, sixth, seventh. And then after that, I went to a full homeschooled program.
Nice. And then, I noticed this year, and it blows me away that after just a few days of riding, you're able to rip those hole shots. And it's not like you're on a bike that's known for hole shots. I mean, there's not negative or anything, but it's not like you're on a Star Yamaha where everyone just expects it, and you rip it every time. Is there like something special you're doing? What's up?
No, I think when I did break my pelvis and I was coming back those 4 or 5 days, I did starts after starts. Starts. And it was funny because I couldn't get a rut that got gnarly, because like when I'd come out and hit a hole, it hurt. So I was doing them on pretty much brand new, like starting like dirt, and I don't know, I honestly changed my technique a little bit, and I was sending videos to my dad was helping me. We were honestly having fun with it because I had nothing else to do. So we were just playing with it, and yeah, I don't know, it's working right now. So let's hope it stays working.
Yeah. And the other thing that really impresses me about you is you see a lot of the kids that will get a hole shot and they just go bonkers. They go bananas. You look comfortable up there. Like, if I closed my eyes or just did shadows, I wouldn't know you weren't one of those guys every single week. And I'm just like, and I think you will be. It's just, and that's what I've told people. And yeah, it's just, what makes you so comfortable? Is it because you raced those guys your whole life?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. And, like during training days, there's some days where I've, freaking Malcolm behind me or Dean. So it mimics that, you know what I mean? You kind of get that feeling. And, obviously in my amateur days, I led a little bit. So, it's honestly easier. You got a clear track, you got nothing to worry about. But like I was super mad after Arlington. Then I went back and watched, and I was like, well, at least I didn't look terrible out front. I looked calm. But yeah, I mean, just hopefully I can keep building, you know what I mean? And staying up front longer and getting the good starts and just trying to be there. That's my goal.
Yeah. And at Arlington too, you looked really comfortable. And I really don't think Jet wanted to have to pass you again in that third race. And he was he saw you on that inside going, and he went to pinch you, and that's when he spun out. So yeah, McAdoo could probably send you a bonus check on that one.
Yeah, it was funny. We were on the gate, and I messed McAdoo up in the first main event. He's like, "Dude, you let Faulkner get around me," and I was laughing. Austin, because I know Austin pretty well. I was like, "Dude, I'll be waiting for that check."
Oh, that's cool. So speaking of checks, you're in the final year of your deal. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Have you discussed? Has anyone approached? After last week, I'm sure people are going to approach you. And we all know that, like, there's a lot of guys that are going to go 450. You've leveraged this pretty well. You've got a contract year when there's a lot of seats open. You might be able to get a pretty decent paycheck. Have you thought about it?
I mean, we'll see what happens. You never know. That's the crazy part of our sport. You can be a hero one weekend and then nothing the next. So just got to keep it going and see kind of what unfolds. But yeah, I mean, honestly, right now I'm trying not to worry about that and just put my best foot forward and trying to get better, because I don't feel like I'm at where I'm 100% of my capability, and I want to show that, you know what I mean? And that's kind of my main goal right now.
Well, and that's what's scary, is I can see that too. And that's what I was like, okay, Stilez is going to be the guy. And then I went back and looked at after looking at the amateur career and how it mirrors these guys because there's a lot of these top guys, and we've saw it in the 450 class. Some of them have racecraft, some of them don't. I almost wonder if you having to battle your whole amateur career gave you a racecraft that some of the other guys that won didn't have. They don't have.
Yeah, I mean, I like to say so, you know. I mean, growing up, it was always battle with all of us because there were so many good kids. So I think that obviously helped, and you know, even being at the baker's factory, like I said, or just, you know, training with good people in general, you know, you kind of get that racecraft and got to figure stuff out on the fly. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I feel like you either have or don't really.
Yeah. Now at the Baker's factory, you mostly work with Mike Brown, right?
Yeah. So I'm on like the left side, if you want to call it, the you pull
Yeah.
in and go far side. So it's Mike Brown, me, Julie Swole, and Dean Wilson, and then now there's a couple amateur kids there. So it's been fun. But me, Dean, and Julie, we get along really good. So it's pretty fun.
Now, would you say the program is more beneficial because of the physical strength you're building, or the fact that you get to ride and be around those guys every day? What's more important?
I think all of it together. You know, I think you could have one and not have the other. But I think honestly, Eldon's programs, you know, the track record shows. You know, it's unreal. And then just riding with those guys every day. You know, like Dean helps me a lot. Malcolm helps me, and it's a good group to be around. That, you know, it's kind of it's a fun group too, so it keeps it light. But you know, when it's business time, it's business time, and we're all there putting in the work. So I think it's a little mixture of both, honestly.
And then being from the West Coast, myself, when I was out there, I was talking to Alden, and he was telling me there's a gator that comes over to the pond. Do you ever see the gator over there?
Yeah, there's been a few small ones, but I've honestly never seen a big gator in I guess the wild, you can say. I've just seen small ones, but I've seen a big water moccasin, and I'm not a snake fan whatsoever, so that freaks me out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I heard that. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't go that close to the water. I'm a big. They're dinosaurs, man. They're scary. So,
Yeah.
but Styles, man, great job last weekend. That was awesome. Thanks for taking some time and kind of letting people know who you are. And anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, just the whole Rockstar Husqvarna team, Fly, Garnet, just everyone that helps our team. You know, we couldn't do it without all of them. The whole Baker's factory, my practice mechanic Jack, my parents, my family, just everyone that's supporting me, and everyone in my corner. I appreciate it.
Hey, do you have an agent?
Not at the moment.
Okay, not at the moment. So in between
Yeah.
agents. So no worries, just checking. And then one last question, I'll let you go. So we know working out, exercising is extremely hard. Riding, you got to do all that. What do you do? Is there anything in particular you do? Do you do cryotherapy? Do you do light therapy to recover? What's a recovery trick that you use?
I honestly just got introduced to it, but I do the hyperbaric chamber a little bit. I was doing it a bunch when I got hurt, and I still do it a little bit just to, you know, still recover because my pelvis still bothers me a little bit. Um, Cryotherapy, I have the Normatex, so I do those. Then other than that, I'll go jump in Dean's ice bath every once in a while if I'm feeling real risky. Other
Yeah.
than that, honestly, at the end of the day, I sit on the couch and just do absolutely nothing.
That's good for you though. That's what you have to do. You guys tax the body so hard. It's people don't understand. A lot of times, if you work, you just burn out. You got to recover. So good on you, my man. And that's one of the things the Baker's factory does have, that reputation of burning them out. So that's why I was kind of, what are you doing to recover? So
Yes, sir.
okay, all right, my man. You have a good evening, and thanks for taking some time, man.
No problem. Thank you.